Leave you laid out on the floor, try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out that more. Saying that you're the best, you gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come back sports, talking way too much, world come back sports, talking way too much, world come back sports.
Yo, shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game, A-Side official. You already know WCS is back in the building. Salute. We here with a reaction. The much anticipated, right? The much anticipated PBC fight card hosting Jermall Charlo and Caleb Plant. The first Zoom remote presser went down today. This was a virtual presser, and WCS Live is going to do a review. Okay? I was going to do a pop the balloon review, but I changed my mind. I want to do a review on this. Why? Because I just want to give my assessment. However you value it, it's up to you. But I just want to give you my assessment on what I heard, how I heard it, and the reason for why I think I heard it the way I did. And that's all. It's no tongue twisters, bro. Shout out to Haynes Legacy in the building. What's good, my guys? Salute to you and the family. God bless. Arnold Brown on deck. What's good? Salute to you. I see both of y'all in the building. One love. Appreciate y'all pulling up as always. Let me put the thumbnail up there. And I would definitely tell you ahead of time that I'm speeding up the playback just a little bit. But let's get to the first part. This is Jermall Charlo and Thomas LaManna having a press conference. Now, you know well as I do, in order for this fight to sell, based off everything we have heard about certain promotions, not big fights going on, struggling, you know what I'm saying, just very half step type of progress that's going on, very stagnant. We know Jermall Charlo still has 6 or 7 fans out there that want to see him return to the ring. He's set to return to the ring in May. And let's tune in to the virtual presser.
Battle, the very determined and veteran contender, Thomas Cornflake LaManna, in a 10-round super middleweight fight. The action all comes your way. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. It is free on Prime Video for all Prime members in the United States. They're going to round out this 4-fight matching up in a 10-round showdown. Also, rising contender Isaac Lucero goes head-to-head against the hard-hitting Luis Omar Valenzuela in a 10-round all-Mexican showdown of unbeaten super welterweights that'll open up the card. Tickets are available right now on sale on AXS.com. You do not want to miss the action whatsoever, ladies and gentlemen, and we are very excited to go ahead and bring in a very top and quality contender, as we want to usher in a man who has a record of 39 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw, 18 wins coming by way of knockout. He is from Belleville, New Jersey. He's a popular fighter on the East Coast for many years, taking on a slew of veteran contenders. He came up short against Edislandi Lara back in May of 2021, but since that time has rattled off 9 straight wins, looking to make it 10 in a row as we bring in Thomas Cornflake Lamanna. Thomas, how are you?
I'm good, Ray. How are you? How are you?
Not too bad. And tell us about how you're feeling. Big matchup with you, Jermall Charlo. I know you guys have been waiting for quite some time to get it on. And lo and behold, May 31st, here we go.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, I'm just glad it's finally here. You know what I'm saying? And, it was supposed to happen in March or December, whatever the hell. Whatever happened. But we're here. You know what I mean? It's God's timing. And I'm excited. I'm ready.
Well, I want you to take and shout out to Cornflake. I met him once or twice. Don't have nothing bad to say about the dude. You see how quick, snappy, his receptive mechanics to hear and respond immediately. I mean, that's a good thing, right? His energy wasn't too low. It was okay. I don't have any complaints about that.
Ready. I'm ready.
Well, we're definitely excited for this matchup. Now we want to bring in a man who has a record, undefeated, 33 fights, 33 wins, 22 of those coming by way of knockout. Very proud of where he's from as he represents Houston, Texas, a former world champion at 154 and 160 pounds. Now looking to conquer a third division at 168. Last fought November of 2023 at the aforementioned Michelob Ultra Arena, Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. Unanimous decision over Jose Benavidez Jr. As we want to bring on to the press conference, we want to usher in the former 2-division world champion, Jermall Charlo. Jermall, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Jermall. I know you've been looking forward to getting back in the ring, now campaigning here in a third division. How are you feeling getting set for your matchup on May 31st?
It's gonna be a fight, It's gonna be a fight.
This is Jermall Charlo, y'all. He said it's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a fight. How are you supposed to sell a fight like that? I don't know what's going on with him, to be honest, but this is just the inception of the virtual presser. He said it's gonna be a fight. I mean, that is not what we expect. I mean, is it something internally? Is he disinterested? What is it, man? I need to know. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really need to know. I need to have someone, kind of break it down for me. Like, this dude said, numerous of times already, and the interview just started. It seemed like the spark isn't there. We have electrical shit, in our in our bodies in general. It just seems like Jermall Charlo is unbothered by this interview.
Jermall Charlo got to do what Jermall Charlo always do.
Jermall, I know before we got on a little bit, you guys were going back and forth a little bit. You mentioned you're very big on your legacy. As you prepare here for 168 and Thomas Lamanna, what are your thoughts on your opponent?
No, it's gonna be a fight. I've been off for a little bit. I'm pretty sure that he knows everything and then he's gonna come at me. He's gonna give me. It's gonna be a fight. Like, I expect the most. Like, I expect the best out of Thomas Lamanna. Like, I expect the best from him, and I'll be there to make the adjustments.
I feel like you both could fight right now if you needed to. You're both in outstanding physical shape. But for you, Jermall, fighting here at 168, how is it, fighting here in a third division? Champ at 154, champ at 160, now looking to be world champion at 168.
Honestly speaking, I just feel like this part of my life is just life is life, and Lamar and I going to take me away from my goals and my dreams, and I'll stand in it. I'll stand in the paint. I don't know if you know what that means, but I'll stand in the paint with you.
What do you feel that means, Thomas?
I don't know. He right. I don't know what that means. All I know is, right, we'll be there. I'll be there. He'll be there. A fight is a fight. We're going to rumble. And, we'll see what happens.
Thomas, how do you analyze Jermall Charlo? You're looking to make it double-digit victories when it comes to your win streak, but how do you analyze Jermall Charlo, former world champion at 154 and 160?
Now, listen, man, let's not be around the bush and bullshit. He is who he is in boxing. He's been off for a while, but look, he's a tall task. He's a great former champion. He's still undefeated. You could say he's still the champion. He's never lost. And this is the biggest fight of my life. And I treat it as such. I've only been training for it since the end of September of 24, because of all the rescheduling and stuff. But yeah, man. I mean, he is who he is. But I am who I am.
But it's crazy, right? I was counting the amount of times that Jermall Charlo said, I'm like at 16, 17 right now. But yet, Thomas LaManna is doing the same thing. I think both of these guys, I can't call it, man. It is so freaking weird. It's almost like they're in a different time zone. I don't know. Maybe they was teleported here just before the presser, bro. Like, both of them have yet to get it popping. People are talking so highly about the PBC, man. You can't have pressers like this. People, they do joke about the virtuals, but if you're gonna do the virtual, man, goddamn, go back to the old, because both of these guys just seem like, hey, they sitting in their living room and they interrupt them from watching a movie just now. I'm gonna be honest, man. Hopefully it gets better.
Yeah, and we're gonna get to it.
Also want to let the media know that we are going to have an in-person press conference in a couple of weeks in Los Angeles. So be on the lookout for that when it comes to date and time. At this moment, I'm going to turn it over to the media, Andrew Roberts from our fine PR team. If you have a question for Jermall Charlo and Thomas LaManna, make sure to raise your hand. And when they call upon you, ask your question. Let us know what media site and entity you are from. Andrew, it is all you, my friend.
Before Andrew gets started, I want to ask this question to the listeners. The hottest chat in the MFing game. Do you see, or from your observation, do you think that Jermall has a speech problem? Do you think there's some issues that's going on neurologically or psychologically that may be affecting his cadence, his verbal cadence right now? Do you think so? As to why he's saying all the time, which is just a bad habit. They say it's better not to say anything at all besides if you're gonna say it's better to just pause and don't say nothing and then gather your thoughts and speak. But in this case, do you think that at this point Charlo has issues going on with him mentally? Is it something that's preventing him from completing sentences? I'm not being mean, but he doesn't sound like the old Jermall Charlo. He doesn't.
All right. Thanks very much, Ray. Our first question is going to come from Jake Donovan, Boxing Scene. Jake, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Great. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it. Conflict, my question is for you first. You and I had a lot of conversations about the opportunities that you had on your plate. What made you want to choose this one, knowing that I'm not discounting your chances, by any stretch of this fight, but you had other fights that were probably more winnable, all the way up to 168.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, he was the biggest name. He was the biggest name, the biggest opportunity. And yeah, man, I mean, why not? You know what I mean? They called, I answered. And that's what it's all about. He keeps, he says legacy. I like to write my own legacy as well. You know what I'm saying? And that's who we rock with.
Got it. Thanks, Conflict. And then Kamal, for you, I know you said you have goals in mind. I know you've never been the type to look past the guy in front of you. Just how important is it for you to get to this point as opposed to thinking about what lies ahead with a win on May 31st?
There's a bigger fish to fry. And I just hope Thomas can go back to his family happy and ever after. But me, I'm not really focused on Thomas. I'm focused on what I do. Whatever I do is what's gonna get y'all it'll build. I'm not look, I just want the best for you, Thomas. I just want the best for you. I don't mean no harm. I just want
So Jermall is trying to build it up. He's being a little bit facetious at the moment, clever, sly, with the tongue, saying I want the best for you. But real talk, I'm not really thinking about you. Real talk, I'm not thinking about you. He said he has bigger fish to fry. And he's not talking about the fish that we fried July 29, 2023. Just to remind y'all of that. He's talking about bigger fights on the horizon, potentially Caleb Plant.
Okay, that's for you.
All right, thank you for those questions, Jake. Our next question is going to come from Andreas Hale with ESPN. Andreas, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Hey, this question is for Jermall Charlo. Jermall, you've been out for a while, man, and I know you needed to take some time off. What was the reason why you decided to come back now after not competing for almost 2 years? Did you feel like you're now ready to get back into the ring?
Yeah, I'm ready to get back in the ring. Those 2 years actually helped me. They helped me. They made me better because not only have I not taken damage, but those 2 years made me stronger. And I am boxing.
Thanks, Jermall. Thanks, Jermall. Thomas, you waited for this fight.
Y'all agree with that? Jermall say I am boxing. I am boxing. He said the 2 years off the ring made him stronger. You think he capping or he just rapping?
How have you felt? You've been training for this fight for a long time. How have you been able to maintain the same level of intensity, knowing that you weren't sure exactly when this fight was going to happen?
So I had when the March fight got pulled, I went and got me a fight, an 8-rounder, ended in 2. So I didn't waste the camp. And I don't know. I just the call came and whatever. I wasn't really expecting it. Like Jake just said not too long ago. It's like we had other fights, we had other offers or whatever. And but yeah, it was something about it where it's like, all right. When Louis Jr. called, it's like, all right, is it for real this time? And yeah, so just whatever. We took it.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Andreas. Our next questions are going to come from Sean Zattel with Vegas Sports Today. Sean, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Hey, fellas, how you doing? Just a question for each. First, Jermall. Jermall, man, you've had 2 fights in the last 5 years. If you were at, let's say, 100% when you beat J-Rock or 100% when you beat Derevianchenko, where are you at right now compared to that? Where do you feel like you were at in your last fight against Jose Benavidez?
I'm sorry, say it again.
You've had 2 fights in the last 5 years. If you were at, let's say you're at 100% when you knocked out Julian Williams or when you beat Derevianchenko, what are you at right now compared to then? And what were you at for the Jose Benavidez fight, you feel?
Right now, technically, honestly, speaking, I'm back. I'm back at 100%. Like I feel stronger. I feel better. I feel, no, I'm fully back. Like the team is better. Everybody around me is like understanding. Like I feel like everything is coming into place like perfectly. Like Houston back on my back. Like I got it. I got them on my back. I could carry them now. Like I'm better now. Like it. Yeah, I had some like chaos going on, but it feels better to like not have to deal with that no more. So like the problems that I had, they're no longer like involved with my life, and my life has got better, and everything is smooth. It's smooth right now. So like Thomas, I'm gonna beat your ass. You do know that. I'm back. He back. He back. So
that shit don't bother, bro.
remember
I don't
all
give a
that
fuck,
shit you
bro.
talking about. All that shit you talking about. I'm like if when I knock you out, you out, I'm gonna step on your ass.
All right, we'll see. Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
So keep talking. that I had, they're no longer like involved with my life, and my life has got better, and everything is smooth. It's smooth right now. So like Thomas, I'm gonna beat your ass. You do know that. I'm back. He back.
That's what I want.
He back. Back. So
That shit don't bother, bro.
remember
I don't
all
give a
that
fuck,
shit you
bro. What
talking
you
about.
talking about?
All that shit you talking about. I'm like if when I knock you out,
Yeah.
I'm a stomp on your ass.
All right, we'll see. Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
So keep talking. Keep running your mouth, Mister. Keep running your mouth. Watch.
That's,
I'm gonna show you.
That's what he say. All right,
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. You can't fuck with me. I'm gonna show you.
All right, Sean, did you have one more question or no?
Yeah, and thank you, Jermall. Thomas, you talked about your rebuild. You've won 9 fights in a row, 4 by knockout since losing to Lara.
You can't fuck with me.
He
He won 9 fights. He did this, nigga. I'm a spit on your ass, nigga. When I get to you, don't say nothing.
You're too emotional, champ. Well, go ahead, Sean.
I'm gonna show you how much emotional I am.
All right, you're right. Go ahead, Sean. I'm sorry, bro.
I enjoy the passion between the fighters, so it's all good. But what do you think you've actually gotten better at in the ring in those
Nothing.
9 fights?
The nigga bum. The nigga's
Yeah,
a
you're right.
bum.
All right, so you
Nigga's
fighting
a
a bum.
bum.
All right, so you fighting a
You a
bum.
fucking
Then fuck is you
bum.
talking about?
You a fucking bum.
What is you talking about, bro?
You a
Like,
fucking
shut
bum.
up. Like,
Nigga,
shut
you a
up.
fucking
Shut
bum.
up.
You
bro.
want to be
Shut
black
up.
so bad.
Shut.
You want to
Like
be black
what?
so bad.
Yo, there's something. I don't know, guys. Yo, so Sean, to answer your question, listen, right? Experience, right? I mean, every single day you learn something new,
You
right?
ain't got no experience.
You okay? Facts. You're right. All right, so Sean, every day you learn something new, right? You get better. It's time. You know what I mean? The best lesson in life is experience, I guess, right? So, whatever, you know what I mean? These fights were just, oh shit, sorry guys. The fights were what they were, but I got more comfortable. You know what I mean? I fought more in 2 years. These 9 fights. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, man. I'm letting the homie get to my fucking head right now, bro. He sounds like a fucking weirdo, bro. Dude, like, chill. I hope I answered your question, Sean. Just it's
Make me chill.
and make me chill. Make me shut up, man. Like what?
All right. Thank you very much for those questions, Sean. And thank you all to both Jermall and Thomas for answering those questions. With that, I'm going to turn it back over to our host, Ray Flores, to wrap things up with our first pair here.
All right. Well, I greatly appreciate it. Take you to the media for asking questions to both Thomas Lamanna and
Right. You know me, right?
I know both of you guys, and I can't wait for May 31st.
You know me. You know how I'm coming. You know how I'm coming.
Bro, you guys are both on, you guys are going to collide.
Hey, pop that shit when I see you, nigga.
You know, well, I'm excited to see both of you guys. Jermall, final question. Your prediction for May 31st against Thomas Lamanna. Thomas,
that was we obviously knew that was coming. Like what he just said it. Yeah, man, we're gonna shock the world. We're gonna shock the world.
Jermall. Jermall and Thomas, thank you so much. I can't wait for this one. Oh my goodness, May 31st, BBC Championship Boxing Online video. Jermall Thomas, we'll see you in a couple of weeks in Los Angeles for the in-person press conference, and then during fight week in Las Vegas.
Yeah, make sure you show up. Make sure you show up. Make sure you show up. Make sure you show up.
Get the fight.
Yeah, make sure you show up.
Shut up, bitch.
Make sure you show up. Make sure you show up. Make sure you show up.
Shut up.
Make sure you show up.
Shut up, bitch. I'm gonna knock your ass out in the
way. Let's turn our attention now to our next matchup, as it'll be an outstanding super middleweight affair. It features the
I wanted to do Ray freaking tension to the verbiage, because as a as a black man myself, I don't know how sometime, right, that these people that's going through the interview process, they hear the word, they hear the N word, like Jermall was dropping it, and they got to be very careful about repeating that or even engaging in it, or else they might get in trouble. But to hear Jermall and say it to Lamanna, even Lamanna has to be careful about not saying it. That's crazy. I just never know what that's like. That's just so hilarious to me, because I really don't know what that uncomfortable, shit is about. I don't know, bro. I mean, shout out to Jermall Charlo for trying his best to make it something, to make the press conference explosive, but still it lacked the energy, it lacked the impact, all of that. Let's get to Caleb. I can't imagine how this is gonna be. Let's hope. Let's shoot for the stars, y'all.
the current WBA interim super middleweight titleist Caleb Plant taking on the hard-hitting Armando Resendiz, who's a Mexican knockout artist. I want to bring in one half of that main event, a man who has a record of 15 wins, 2 losses, 11 wins coming by way of knockout, trained in Southern California by renowned trainer Manny Robles, a native of Nayarit, Mexico. He began his career in an 8-fight knockout streak and owns a 2023 stoppage victory over former unified world champion Jared Hurd, which is no easy task whatsoever. I want to bring in Armando Resendiz. Armando, how are you? Got Martin Butler, our outstanding translator, to translate for us. But Armando, how are you doing? ¿Cómo estás?
Hola, ¿qué tal? Muy bien, muy contentos. Muchas gracias por esta oportunidad y gracias por esta entrevista.
Hi guys, glad to be here. Thank you for this opportunity. Looking forward to the fight, and thank you very much for having this press conference as well.
Well, the fight is free and available on Prime. So Prime Video members, subscribers, you can enjoy this big night of action live and free in the United States and select countries. And also now I want to bring in Armando Resendiz adversary, a man who has a record of 23 wins, 2 losses, 14 wins coming by way of knockout. He's the former IBF super middleweight champion of the world and the reigning interim WBA super middleweight world champion. Born in Nashville, Tennessee, now living and training in Las Vegas. He's guided by top trainer Stephen Breadman Edwards and his father, Richie Plant. In his last outing, he delivered one of the year's best fights, going toe-to-toe as he stopped Trevor McCumbee in the 9th round last September. This guy is a showman. He's a showman. He's a throwback fighter. He's a champion, very proud family man as well. As I want to bring in Caleb Plant. Caleb, how are you?
Doing well, Ray. Thank you.
It's great to see you. Great to talk with you, Caleb. May 31st against Armando Resendiz. What can the world expect?
Hold up, Caleb Plant coming in here sounding like, he about to make a freaking Smooth Groove CD and shit. Like he Barry White. Hello, it's me. I'm here. White chocolate, Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah, 101.
Man, they can expect a show. May 31st, they can expect the show, expect fireworks. Me and the team, we've been training hard, grinding hard. And once that bell rings, I'm going to step on them.
Do not miss it. And I want to let everyone know that, again, we are going to have an in-person press conference in Los Angeles in a couple of weeks. So be on track and be on the lookout for that from our esteemed PR team. Caleb, you're a showman. When you get in the ring, you put on a show. You're a throwback fighter because you will fight anybody and everybody. You have always said from the beginning of your career, I want to fight the world's best. But when you're in the ring, you always tend to make guys miss, and you have some theatrics in the ring, and it's really sort of, people, gravitate towards that. Where do you get that showmanship from? Because when you're in that ring, I almost feel like you're, headlining on Broadway or something along those lines.
It's just, I feel strongly about having fun with what you love to do. And, boxing's always been a place where I can kind of like let go, and, I may be more quiet and reserved outside of the ring, but it's like once the bell rings, I feel like myself, and I can really relax and have fun in there. And everybody wants to have fun with something they love doing, and that's what I like. I'm
going to get to Armando Resendiz in a few moments, but Caleb, you have accomplished so much in the sport of boxing, and you've been very successful financially as well. You deserve every single, dollar and penny that.
Caleb getting that A-side treatment first out the gate. He's giving him all the front minutes out the gate, making Armando just sit there and be patient until it's his turn. Hey, Caleb Plant getting all the freaking concierge. You know what I'm saying? The VIP treatment.
You've earned, but where do you get this desire to still compete at this high level, knowing that, you are very well off, financially? The goal of a prize fighter is to, do well when it comes to world championships and also financially. You've done that, but I feel like you still have this desire to compete. Almost your desire has only increased since before I even met you, and you were 10-0 as a fighter.
Yeah. I mean,
do y'all think Ray is glazing Caleb a little bit too much? Yes, he is the main event, but is it a little bit glazing? Or like Blue said, should he get off the gas right now? Because the glaze is melting away. God damn, he laying on that glaze.
The goal was to put me and my family in a better financial situation. Obviously, hopefully get to a better financial situation than with the one I grew up in. But even above that, it's the desire to be a winner, to be a champion, to get my name in that big book, to be in the Hall of Fame and have that written in stone, something that lasts forever, something that my children can look at and see firsthand what hard work gets them in. Even if you fall short, even if you mess up, even if you lose, that's not a reason to quit. That's a reason to get up and dust yourself off and to show that you can, continue on and continue to win. And, there's motivation and then there's a desire, and desire is a much stronger feeling than motivation. And it's not a fleeting emotion either. So, I have the desire to be a winner. I have the desire to be a champion. And that doesn't go away just from a few dollars,
Well, I also want to congratulate you and your family. I know that your wife Jordan is expecting, your family's second child. So congratulations to you guys on that as well. I know you're very much looking forward to that. So I wish you guys all the best, and very excited. And it's great to see the growth of your family as well, because I know how much of a proud father you are.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're excited.
Well, Armando, for you, how do you assess Caleb Plant, a man who's accomplished so much in the sport of boxing, world champion, but how do you analyze Caleb Plant?
Armando, ¿cómo tenés visto a Caleb Plant? ¿Cómo lo analizás sabiendo que es un campeón mundial, un veterano de 1000 batallas?
Bueno, no, pues excelente. La verdad que lo veo bien. Sé que es un gran peleador, es un peleador fuerte, es un peleador de élite. Honestamente, yo creo que uno de mis sueños siempre ha sido pelear contra los mejores, porque esa es parte del objetivo, y pues va a ser una buena pelea esta.
I see him in excellent shape. Caleb Plant is an elite fighter, someone that has accomplished a lot in the sport already. And I'm excited because my dream and my goal has always been to fight against the best. And I feel like this is making that dream come true. And fighting against Caleb is going to be a great show on May 31st.
Before I get ready to turn it over to the media for questions for both Caleb Plant and Armando Resendiz, I want to send a special happy belated birthday to Brittany Goosen Brown, the vice president of TGB Promotions, who was involved in the promotion for many outstanding, memorable PBC events. So happy belated birthday to Brittany Goosen Brown. I'm going to turn it over now to Andrew Roberts. Questions from the media. If you have a question, wait for Andrew to call upon you, then come out with your question. Let us know what media outlet you are from. Andrew, it's all you.
Thanks very much, Ray. Our first question is going to come from Ron Goodall with Fight Hype. Ron, please unmute yourself and you can ask your questions.
Awesome. My question is to Caleb Plant. First and foremost, I know you put out a tweet kind of addressing kind of a lot of the fights that you wanted, and you kind of explained how, Pacheco was negotiating with Mbili, and Munguia was busy, and Canelo was busy, and Edgar has a fight. But you also mentioned that Charlo wanted to tune up to get active. I just wanted to ask kind of maybe a soft confirmation that you get past your opponent. I know that you're not looking past him, but if Charlo gets past Thomas Lamana, the card seems to be built up that you guys.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Hey, Thomas, you had your time to talk. So that question wasn't for you. It's for me. So respectfully.
Yeah, Caleb, respectfully.
I do respect me and you're cool. Me and you're cool. We never had no issues. But I'm going to ask you respectfully to shut the fuck up and let me do your job. Let me do my thing. All right?
Yeah. Let me say something. You're 100% right. I don't
No. You got your turn to say something.
No, it's okay. Yeah, but we're not doing that. You got to fight your mans. I got to fight more. So it's a disrespect to me as well. You understand me?
But right now you're
not doing that.
But right now
you're not doing that. I have no intent to do that. I have no intent to do that.
Fuck what you have intent to do.
All right, well, look,
you do your thing. I'm doing my thing.
All I'm saying, we're not doing that though.
The answer is after
and watch your mouth too, bro. We're not on that.
Or what?
I said we're not on that.
Look, man, ain't nobody talking to you right now. The plan is if I win or
are y'all awake? Are y'all not entertained? Who's seen this coming? Was it staged? I like that energy. I like that consistent energy. When you get with Caleb, what I'm saying? Caleb give you that energy that seems naturally blended into a reaction where he's going to give you the smoke. Caleb don't play around with the lighter in his hand and keep hitting it and say, oh man, I hope it lights sometimes. So no. Caleb come in with the flamethrowers already. If you want to light a cigarette, he say, put it in your mouth. And he blazed the whole facial area with the cigarette, everything. You know what I'm saying? You're looking like goddamn Mad Max or what's that damn show where the guy was riding on the motorcycle. He looked like he was on fire. Caleb goddamn burned your whole goddamn head off, man. Caleb coming up with the flamethrowers. He do not care, man. He gets straight down to it. F you and what you stand for. I mean, I don't know if this was staged or not, but it's definitely some natural intensity than it was with Jermall Charlo and Cornflaker. Let's go back a little bit and rehash this moment. Let's go back a little bit.
You got your job. Let me do my thing. All right.
I want to send
with Fight Hype. Ron, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Kind of addressing kind of a lot of the fights that you wanted, and you kind of explained how Pacheco was negotiating with Mbili, and Munguia was busy, and Canelo was busy, and Edgar has a fight. But you also mentioned that Charlo wanted to tune up to get active. I just wanted to ask kind of maybe a soft confirmation that you get past your opponent. I know that you're not looking past him, but if Charlo gets past.
Okay. I know this guy who's talking. He's not a bad guy. But the way that he wanted a soft confirmation, I'm gonna tell you from experience from this, right? They don't really tell you what questions to ask. But with the ones that I've been on several times, I never seen anything like this. And I know this guy that's working Fight Hype. I know him very well. But for him to ask for a soft confirmation about a forecasted fight, potentially between him and Jermall Charlo, I just find it like great energy, how they hurry up and got out the way and bled into this quick, but also is leaving Armando out. He's just sitting over there. You know, he's not a part of this. Caleb's not arguing with Armando. He's arguing with the mediator for the freaking virtual presser.
Thomas Lamana. The card seems to be built up that you guys.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Hey, Thomas, you had your time to talk, so
Yeah.
that question wasn't for you; it's for me. So respectfully,
Yeah, Caleb, respectfully, I do respect
me and you are cool. Me and you are
yeah,
cool.
facts,
we never had no
facts,
issues,
facts,
but I'm gonna ask you
facts.
respectfully to shut the fuck up and let me.
Yeah,
You
no
do
doubt,
your
no
job.
doubt.
Let me do my thing. All right.
Yeah.
He said, I'm gonna ask you respectfully to shut the fuck up. Sweet Hand said, I'm gonna ask you respectfully. So this won't be disastrous for you when I see you. Okay? I'm gonna ask you respectfully to shut the F up.
Let me say something. You're 100% right. I don't want to
No.
disrespect you.
You got your turn to say something.
No, it's okay. Yeah, we're not doing that. You gotta fight your mans. I gotta fight Maul. So like it's a disrespect to me as well. You understand me?
Right now.
Oh, that's Thomas Lamana. That's Thomas Lamana. That is Thomas. Thomas is still on the virtual presser, and he's talking to Caleb like that more than he had for Maul. Forgive me. It took me a little bit of time to freaking understand. He's talking to Cornflake. He's dipping his ass in that tap water I was talking about.
Now you're
We're not doing that.
But right now
we're not doing that. We're not. I had no intent to do that. I have no intent to do that.
Fuck what you have intent doing.
All right. Well, look,
you do your thing. I'm doing my thing.
All I'm saying, we're not doing that though.
The answer is after
and watch your mouth too, bro. We're not on that.
Or what?
I said we're not on that.
Look, man, ain't nobody talking to you right now. The plan is if I win or when I win, and if Charlo is able to win.
Thank you. All right,
and the goal and the plan is for me and him to fight. So I don't give a fuck what you and Jermall got going on. You guys can figure that out when the bell rings. That ain't for me to figure out. But the plan is when I step on Armando, because I'm going to step on him. And if Charlo wins, then we're going to fight. Am I right or am I wrong? Thomas, since you got so much to say.
Nah, they muted me. You're right. Nah.
Okay, so they're asking what the plan is, not what's going to happen, not what's going to go through. They're asking what the plan is.
All right, that's a bet.
Okay, so pipe down.
All right, that's a bet.
I know how to answer the question. He ain't talking to you, motherfucker.
All right, but you.
Yeah, get his dumb ass out of here. Ain't nobody talking to you right now, boy. You had your chance.
He said, get his dumb ass up out of here. Ain't nobody talking to you, boy. He had his chance. He right. Thomas, you had your chance to spark it up with Jermall. And you was just over there. Oh, I knew that was coming. And what you do? You up there drinking water and you had some pure life. You know what I'm saying? You got your alkaline level up the park. Now you got some energy, man. Come on now. Even Jermall Charlo sitting back there chilling right now. He ain't saying a motherfucking thing.
Yeah, that was
so odd. This is so odd. I mean,
all right, great. Thanks very much, Sean or Ron. Our next questions are going to come from James.
Y'all. I thought that was
James, please unmute yourself.
And that was Thomas, man.
All right, thanks, Andrew. First question here for Armando. Given that you had fights against Jarrett Hurd and Elijah Garcia, what did you take from that or those two fights leading into this one here against world champion and Caleb Plant?
Armando, ¿qué conclusiones sacaste de tus peleas contra Hurd y contra Elijah García de cara a este nuevo desafío contra Caleb Plant? ¿Te sirvió de algo?
Claro que sí. De todas las peleas se aprende. Aprendí en esas peleas que mencionan. Aprendí que no hay rival pequeño, pero tampoco rival tan grande que no se pueda derrotar. Entonces me siento con un gran aprendizaje de todo lo que ha llevado mi carrera, algunas altas, unas bajas, pero todo es para seguir aprendiendo y pues con la fe en Dios siempre y vamos para adelante, como buen mexicano.
Look, like a good Mexican fighter that I am, I always, put my best foot forward, and I have faith in everything that I do, and I put my faith in God as well. As far as the previous fights that I had, every single fight is a learning experience. My career has had highs and lows, and I definitely think that the fights against Hernan Garcia have allowed me to realize that there are no opponents that are too small, but that you never have a boogeyman that they have to fear. So I'm going to be ready for this challenge, and the fights that I've had in the past are going to allow me to be even stronger this time around.
All right, and my next question for Caleb Plant, you talked about, legacy and your desire here being as a fighter. Given that, this fight is going to take place, not that far from when they're going to have the International Boxing Hall of Fame ceremony, what would you think is your plan to be enshrined in that Hall of Fame?
Well, first things first, that's been on a big performance May 31st. If Charlo's able to.
What do y'all think about that question? Whoever this guy is, I vaguely know, but just to ask for this fight, who he's fighting a guy who's not even considered great yet. For real, like, Armando is 15-2, 11 knockouts, 26 years of age, Mexican fighter. Why would you be asking about the Hall of Fame? Am I missing something here? I might be missing something. Real talk.
Enshrined in that Hall of Fame.
Well,
let me go back a little bit
this time around.
All right, and my next question for Caleb Plant, you talked about, legacy and your desire here being as a fighter. Given that, this fight is going to take place, not that far from when they're going to have the International Boxing Hall of Fame ceremony, what would you think is your plan to be enshrined in that Hall of Fame?
So you asked him about being enshrined in the Hall of Fame, which right now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest. I mean, that's not a question that's relatable or relevant to where he's going right now. To his fight that's coming up on May 31st this year. I mean, why would you be asking someone about the Hall of Fame? And they have to retire first, become eligible to even be selected to the Hall.
Well, first things first, that's been on a big performance May 31st.
Gosh.
If Charlo's able to, get past his test and win, beat him in impressive fashion, fight Edgar Berlanga, step on him, step on Jaime Munguia and Diego Pacheco and, any of the other guys who are up there. And just, one by one, keep picking them off until, my name is cemented and I'm able to, get in that Hall of Fame. That's the goal. That's the dream. And, but you can only, do that one fight at a time. So right now,
one fight at a time.
I thought I was going to get on here and say after Charlo knocks, I don't, what Charlo and him got going on have nothing to do with me right now. My focus is on Armando Resendez. And I'll let them figure that out. And I'm going to figure out the fight between me and Armando. And then, we'll go from there. But yeah, just slowly keep picking them off one by one.
All right. Thanks for those questions, James. Our next questions are going to come from Cynthia Conti with Best Women's Boxing Show, period. Cynthia, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. This question is for Caleb. Can you talk about the difference, since you fought Canelo and David Benavidez, can you talk about the difference between rebuilding after the Canelo fight versus rebuilding after your fight with Benavidez?
Rebuilding
yourself after those losses, going into the McCumbee fight and what you learned from McCumbee going into Resendez.
Hold up. You asked him a 3-layer question. You asked him, what did he do to rebuild himself off Canelo, to rebuild himself after Benavidez? Then he asked you for clarification. You turned around and said, yes, your fight after McCumbee, what does it take? That's like a 3-layer question. Man, things have changed with this media. That's what happened when you have people that's in the industry that's not really coming these. Man, I'm not saying that about you, Cynthia. For real, I'm not. I'm not saying that about you because I know exactly who you are. But I just don't understand the 3-layer question. Let's see how Caleb Plant freaking answers it.
Yeah, I mean, in the Canelo fight, it was a good fight, but taking the biggest thing away from that was just the experience, and with a few adjustments, knowing that I'm the guy. So went back to work, and for some reason, I feel like some fighters, they lose and their confidence is shattered, and maybe their confidence was fake to begin with. I don't know, but a loss has never stripped me of my confidence or made me feel like I couldn't accomplish what I wanted to. So I got back to work, got knockout of the year against Anthony Durrell, who's a 2-time world champion. Then in the David fight, the Durrell fight was a great experience as well. But, the David fight, things was going really well the first half of the fight. And, he started to take over the second half. He's a big guy, and also he's got a lot of skill and a lot of ability. He's a great fighter. But taking that experience into the Trevor McCumbee fight.
First of all, Caleb, shout out to you, man, because Caleb gives very solid interviews. For real. I can speak from experience. He gives very solid responses, especially when he's in these pressers. He is always on par with his shit. It's always some drama. And it's definitely going to be no different when he goes to the press conference with Armando and they face off for the first time. But shout out to Caleb, man. A lot of you cats need to take a little bit of notes from how, to keep your presser lit, to have people tuned in to want to hear you talk. Caleb's not really yelling. Even earlier, he wasn't yelling. He said, but respectfully, shut the F up. Like he knows how to verbal spar. He does. Caleb knows how to do this.
Being able to stay cool and calm regardless of what was coming my way, and make adjustments, which a lot of fighters aren't able to do, and handle business in fashion there. So Armando knows me. He knows how good I am. We've sparred before, and we sparred a couple times, and he knows I'm the real deal.
Okay, and for Resendez, he just said that him sparring. Did you take anything away from it? And do you see that you can use it against him?
Bueno, Armando, de lo que tenés de la experiencia de sparring y todo, ¿sentís que te puede ayudar de cara a esta pelea?
Bueno.
Before Armando responds to the sparring, Caleb done dropped the sparring on you. Caleb has set the bar out there like, bro, we already had a situation, okay? And don't act like you don't remember it. But since I brought it up, you know what direction the conflict went. I gave you firsthand, entertainment. I gave you a first-hand seat. I gave you VIP service on that sparring session. So you remember. I just had to remind you of, when we was on live, on what exactly went down between us sparring. So don't come here with the big mouth. You know what I'm saying? Don't write checks that your jaw is not going to cash, bro. That's pretty much what he's saying.
Todo sirve. Es bueno valorar todo. Los sparring, la verdad, no nos fue tan mal. Hicimos una buena cantidad de sparring. La verdad que por ahí se empieza y no, siento que no es tampoco algo imposible que se pueda lograr, y como te lo repito, con la fe siempre por delante y dándolo todo en mi entrenamiento. Yo sé que él se acuerda de mí, de esos sparring. Yo sé que él se acuerda de esa vez que le ayudé, creo que iba a pelear con Canelo Álvarez, algo así. Entonces, por ahí vamos empezando con la preparación de esta pelea y con fe en Dios de que vamos a salir victoriosos.
I know that Caleb remembers me from those sparring sessions. I think he was about to fight Canelo Alvarez, and like I said before, nothing is impossible. And with faith in God, I know I have the tools that I need in order to overcome this challenge. On my own training camp that has been going great. My sparring sessions have also been really good. I feel really confident. So let's get it on.
All right, thank you, Cynthia. Our next questions are going to come from Mark Lellenwalla with DAZN News. Mark, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Hey, this question is for Caleb. You handle your business and if Charlo handles his business, how much would you look forward to fighting Charlo for closure, especially after that backstage incident that happened between y'all?
I feel like I have closure in the situation. I feel like I'm the one who closed that situation up. So,
man, shout out to Caleb, man. That dude is notorious. I'm telling you, man. Caleb Plant is notorious OG when it comes to pressers, man. His response, man, classic. I feel I closed that situation. I mean, come on, man. That's straight, direct. No over the top, excessive, yelling and screaming. He said, man, I felt I closed it.
Stage incident that happened between y'all.
I feel like I have closure in the situation. I feel like I'm the one who closed that situation up. So, but I'm always looking to face big names in the super middleweight division. And he's a super middleweight now, so he's one of them. But other than that, I don't really care anything about that fight right now. It's not important for me to want that fight or focus on that fight. I'm not going to be distracted by the fight that's in front of me. There's been a million fighters in the past. They put them on the same show. They say, hey, if you win, you get to fight each other. And they're so busy thinking about the next fight or the big fight or whatever they want to call it. And they wind up not even winning the fight in front of them. And I won't make that same mistake. I'm focused on Armando Resendez. I know he's training hard to come and take my spot, but that's not going to happen. And I know it, and he knows it.
All right. Thanks, Mark. Our next question is going to come from Harrison Campbell with the Tennessean. Harrison, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Caleb, you obviously have a lot of experience on the biggest stages and main events. Kind of what factor do you think that experience is going to play in this fight?
Experience plays a huge factor in every fight. And experience isn't something you can buy. It's not something you can borrow. You got to go through the fire to get it. And I've done.
It's not something you can buy. It's not something you can borrow. You have to go through the fire to get it. It's not something you can buy. It's not something you can borrow. It's something you have to go through the fire to get it. Man, talk that shit, Caleb.
Done that. And I've done that gracefully. And I've been on the biggest stages in boxing. And like I said, each time you get more experience in those big fights, you get to carry it over into, the next fight. And I got too much experience for Armando. I'm too fast. I'm too strong. I'm too slick. I got a good team behind me, a great team behind me. And Brad, my dad, Rich, my strength and conditioning coach, Tony. And we're the A-team. We're coming to win. We're going to win.
Appreciate it. Best of luck to both of you guys.
All right. Thanks, Harrison. I'll try to get to a couple more here. Next questions are going to come from Jake Donovan, Boxing Scene. Jake, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Thanks, Andrew. Caleb, I honestly can't remember the last time you had an opponent that there was no beef. Unless Armando completely flips and goes uncharacteristically heel. Can you remember the last time where you you can go into a fight not worrying about having a beef with your opponent beforehand? Been a minute, right?
I'm not really a fan or fond of anybody standing across me. I've had to go through a lot to get here, in the ring, out the ring. And when someone's in front of me trying to disrupt that, trying to mess that up for me, when I have big plans, I take that personal. Now, a lot of my past opponents, I feel have really went out of their way to come at me, which I feel like that's kind of what you're speaking to. But I'm built for stuff like that. Stuff like that. I wouldn't say that it bothers me, So again, Armando, he thinks he's going to beat me. That's enough right there to piss me off. So he knows who I am. He knows how I'm coming.
Got it. And then my final question for you. So Canelo is off in Turkey land. He's going to be there. He's probably going to retire over there. As we've seen in the past couple of weeks, all the other super middleweights are circling around each other. Diego Pacheco didn't want to fight Billy, and Billy didn't want to fight the guy from France. None of these guys really want to fight. What opportunity do you see where you can?
It's a lot of ducking going on up there at the top at 168. Nasty work. Why and Billy and Pacheco are making moves the way they are. I don't get it. What are they waiting on? They just want to stall out Canelo, hoping something happen in September. Crawford vacate. I mean, come on, you're going to be waiting forever. Why are they not fighting each other? They may feel unmotivated to do it. Why? Because they don't feel like there's any prestige in doing it right now with the belts all tied up. That's just my guess.
And absolutely become the bank at 168, and that everyone has to come to you. And that you become the face of the division, whether it's a Canelo rematch or once Canelo decides to call it a career.
Shout out to the Queen Jessica in the building. Shout out to Blue Hustle in the building. I see you. Shout out to my guy Shaw News, the Sauce Experience, Team Tucker Official in the building.
I think the first thing would just be winning.
Shout out to Malik in the building.
Impressively on May 31st. And then seeing where the landscape is and seeing where we can move next. And but nothing happens without me getting my hand raised in fashion on May 31st. So I think first things first, handle business against Armando and check the landscape and go from there.
All right. Thanks very much, Jake. Our next question is going to come from Cesar Seda with Boxeo Urbano Network. Cesar, please unmute yourself. You can ask your question.
Yes, my question is for Caleb Plant. Caleb, I see you all confidence and it's supposed to be like that, but this is a young lion. I know you sparring is not the same. This is a young lion. You coming from a a huge fight on your last one where you became a interim world champion, but you went to the canvas on that one, and your opponent Macombi was your age and all that. This is a young lion. You don't think if he found his way, it's gonna be a different way around?
I don't know, brother. You're gonna have to word that one a little different from me.
If he put you in the canvas, he got a good coach, he got a good corner. But if he put,
hey, look, man, he classic, bro. He said you got to word that a little different for me. Hey, man, classic, man.
You in the canvas, like in your last fight, do you think you can be all confidence and got the same confidence like in your last fight to overcome this young lion that is on your side right there?
Did it happen in my last fight? Did it happen in my last fight?
Well, it happens. Yes.
Yeah. Did it happen in my last fight?
It happened. Different opponent.
And what did I do?
Different opponent. That's what I asked you the question, because I see your confidence. You overcome it. Yes.
I got up. I whooped his ass, didn't I? And not to mention round 4, it was an arm punch anyway. See me on the arm, and I was stumbling from that and fell. So technically, I guess that's the 8 count, but it's not like I was hurt or bothered. But what I got up, stayed calm and cool like a champion does, and put my foot on his neck. So there's been tons of legendary fighters, world champions, to get knocked down by their opponent, and they get up and they whoop ass. That's part of boxing.
All right, thanks, Caleb. Thank you, Caesar. Our last.
I like Caesar mixing it up a little bit, coming there, asking him about the knockdown, not sticking to the script. I like that, man. Some people get away with that. Some people, they're not going to have you come back on. Come on, man. I don't even want to start breaking down how this process works.
Last media questions for today are going to come from Abraham Gonzalez with Fights Around the World. Abe, please unmute yourself. You can ask your question.
All right, Caleb, I'm going to circle this back around to the positivity. Salute to that sneaker wall that you have back there. How difficult, or was it difficult at all, trying to train and focus for this upcoming fight while having, your wife pregnant the second time around? Obviously, pregnancies are different, and you want to be there for your wife as much as possible. How hard was it kind of balancing that?
It's not hard. Charlie, our first child, my daughter, she was born like 4 weeks before the Darrell fight. And, you see how I performed in that. And, we got help, and she's not the type I'm in camp, and she knows that. And so she allows me to do my job and put my best foot forward in that. So, we're not in the same room. We're not, it's not a distraction for me, is what I'm trying to say. I'm fully focused on Armando, and whether I have a kid on the way or not. If anything, that's just more fuel and more fire, more motivation for me to make sure that I get handle things on the 31st. So I feel like maybe some people have the type of woman who may make things hard on them and, nag at them but that's not the type of wife I have. And she understands the plan, and she knows what's at risk. She knows the task at hand, and she knows, what's at risk. So she wants me to put my best foot forward, and it's no bother.
So pretty much what he's saying, he got a woman that supports him and understands what's the end game. You know what I'm saying? What's the end state of everything? To continue to make these checks with the biggest fights. That's the end game. Go out there, support your spouse by all means necessary. And like he said, don't nag them about stuff. Oh, I hope you don't take a fight anytime soon. The baby's getting older, and you're in fight camp. And I'm not really having time for us to grow as a family. No. Caleb's saying I got a woman who supports me and understand what my mission is. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm out here to do. I'm a professional fighter, and I need to put in and totally commit myself to become better and better each fight. And while I have, media like Caesar talking about me being knocked down my last fight, I can continue to show people that, yeah, you can take some losses, but you can also continue to collect some wins.
That's what's up. And this question is for Armando. Armando, para la gente que no te conoce, buenos días, para la gente que no te conocen y creen que te ven el nombre, te ven el récord tuyo y dicen, que ese no va a hacer nada plan. Para esa gente que te dicen, van a decirle eso porque no te conocen, no te han visto pelear, ¿qué quiere decirle a esa gente cuando viene el mayo 31 que van a ver esa noche de Armando Reséndiz?
Bueno, no mucho en realidad. No me enfoco mucho en ese tipo de comentarios o las personas que no creen en mí. Realmente a mí me basta con que mi familia, con que mi esposa con que mis hermanos, con que todos ellos crean en mí y yo mismo creer en mí, que mi equipo crea en mí, eso es más que suficiente, pero yo los entiendo a todas esas personas que a lo mejor no me conocen y yo les diría que estén muy atentos, porque yo soy un mexicano que está aquí no para ver si puede, sino porque puede, está aquí. Entonces, vamos a darlo todo. Estoy viviendo parte de mis sueños y voy a salir a darlo todo esa noche. No me importa si alguien no cree, no pasa nada, está bien y se entiende, porque puede haber razones y muchas formas de pensar, pero yo soy muy convencido de lo que soy capaz.
Look, I'm not a trash talker by nature, but I really don't care about whether people that don't know me believe in me or not. I care about whether my team believes in me, whether my family believes in me. I want to make my wife and my siblings and my whole family proud. That's what it's all about. I'm here making my dreams come true, and I'm a Mexican fighter. People are going to see what I'm capable of. Just wait until May 31st, and you'll be witnessing exactly what I can do. And this is not because I think I can. It's because I know I can.
Hey, Martin, can you tell him something for me? I know that if I hit him with the overhand right, like I hit him in sparring, that had him wobbling everywhere, the same one that I hit him with in sparring, if I hit him with that same overhand right with these 10-ounce gloves on.
Bueno, acá dice Caleb que cuidado, que si te agarra con ese derechazo que te dio durante sesiones de sparring, te vas a dormir, ¿Qué tenés para responderle?
No mucho, tampoco que decirle, pero la verdad que yo creo que él mejor se ponga a pensar en cómo le estuvo yendo en esos días. Total, me terminaron corriendo porque pues algo no les convencía. Entonces, que se acuerde muy bien cómo fue todo lo que pasó en esos días de sparring. No hace falta dar mucho detalle. Nos vamos a ver el 31 en la noche y ahí vamos a sacar la casta.
Caleb, there's no need to really have selective memory like that. I think you're misremembering a bit about what happened that week, because in the end they took me out of the gym for a reason, right? They ran me out of there because they remember what happened that week. But there's really no need to also like remember the sparring session so much, because I'm gonna put my best out there and be the best version of myself. And I'm gonna show you exactly how much I've grown on May 31st.
Sound good.
All right. Thank you for that last question, Abraham. And thank you to all the media that joined us today. Thank you to both Caleb and Armando for taking the time. With that, I'm going to turn things back over to Ray Flores to wrap things up and get closing comments from the fighters.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Armando, on May 31st, it is PBC Championship Boxing on Prime Video, free and available to Prime Video subscribers. You do not want to miss it. It comes your way from Michelob Ultra Arena at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. Armando DeCindy's your prediction for your matchup against Caleb Plant.
Armando, ¿cuál es tu vaticinio para esta pelea contra Caleb Plant? ¿Cómo termina la pelea el 31 de mayo?
Termina con el toro levantando la mano. Primero Dios.
It's gonna end up with the toro, the bull, with his hand raised. God willing.
Caleb, how will the fight unfold on May 31st?
And still.
Greatly appreciated, champ. Good luck. We appreciate it. Also want to let everyone know that there will be an in-person press conference in Los Angeles in a couple of weeks. Be on the lookout from our PR team. And then we look forward to seeing everybody in Las Vegas. Caleb Plant.
So Caleb Plant pretty much put it out there. It's going to be in steel. And, you know, he and him bring up sparring, which usually that's frowned upon. But, you know, when Caleb Plant bring it up, he puts some some seasoning on it, and he just don't throw it out there like a stale cornflake. I'm glad there was an exchange, okay, because I thought it was the mediator, but I'm glad there was exchange between him and Thomas, because Thomas really let a lot of people down in the initial presser between him and Charlo. It wasn't no energy between them, bro. You didn't have that same energy for freaking Charlo, but you had it for Caleb. All because Caleb was pretty much projecting to leapfrog, you know what I'm saying, and look forward to fighting Charlo. So pretty much what he was saying there, Thomas, he wasn't worrying about a cornflake. That's all. He said he just wasn't worried about a cornflake. He wanted to try to get to one of those lions that's now finally came up to 168. That's what I gathered from the info. Real talk. But I appreciate everyone for coming through. Salute to the hottest chat in the MF and game. And we should do it again. Until next time, peace.